So, surface operations. So this is what we're doing now. EDL is old news, very sad. What we're doing now, basically, we have the configuration I kind of described to you for EDL in the same. So the Deep Space Network, of course, is our nexus of communications. We've got a Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter and Odyssey, that's Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter, I believe, and Odyssey both doing relay for us. Like I said, we just started picking up relay coverage from MEX as well. Curiosity can talk to the Deep Space Network if we have our high gain antenna working. Now, interesting, the high gain antenna you couldn't really see, but it's sort of a flat hexagonal paddle, and you have to point it to be able to use it. It's not what we call an omnidirectional antenna. We can't get back to the Earth in a lot of configurations with the omnidirectional antenna. There's just not enough power. Even with the DSN, there's not enough power with the Omni. And so one of the things that we were concerned about when we hit the surface is, like, if that motor had a problem, we wouldn't have been able to point the antenna, and then it would have been strictly UHF, which we have thought about doing missions like that, but for some reason people are nervous about UHF, which makes me, as the mother, very upset. But in any case, and then back here is kind of all the people who are interested. We have both the MSL operators, but also our orbiter partner operators who track what's coming back from the DSN. We have our science team. Actually, pretty much the entire project now is run by the science team, what they want to do during a day. Like when we drive, you think, oh, that's arbitrary. We do too. No, the science people, that's like their big thing. This is where we want to go, or we're interested in where we are, etc. And then, of course, the public, like all the pictures and stuff coming back. Somebody talked about streaming video coming back from Mars. Well, that's the next rover that we're working on right now, 2018 potentially. We're looking at putting an upward-facing camera just to be able to take pictures of what's coming down. Now, that might not be the highest priority data for us, but at the same time, if we had a bigger bandwidth, obviously we'd like to see it too. So, next page. This, I think, is my last slide. Kind of just gives you an idea of the day in the life and how closely tied it is with the DSN. So now this is all Mars time. Now people probably heard about people going on Mars time. Well, the Martian day is shorter than the Earth day, and a lot you think, well, we're not a solar powered mission, it doesn't matter so much. No, a lot of what we do depends on having the sun up. I mean, it's more interesting to take pictures when it's light out. Also, as it turns out, a big part of our power budget is heating. Like, we have to heat up the motors and we have to heat up some of the electronics before we can use them. And so during the day, you basically get that heating for free. At night, you actually have to put a lot more power into it. So what this plot shows in a very complicated way is there's power up on this scale, and then there's time, basically a day's worth of Mars time on the bottom. And so you can see this step function here, up. So what this represents is, at the beginning of the Martian day, we uplink new commands. We uplink big sequences. I want you to drive a little bit. I want you to turn on this instrument. I want you to take this reading. Maybe I want you to update some software, etc., etc. Then we go down. So that's the DSN link. We use the DSN to tell it in the morning what it wants to do. Obviously, it's nice to do it that way because with the relay, we have to go up to an orbiter in the cross. With the DSN, it's right there. So then we spend a bulk of the day doing some sort of processing, whatever we're going to do for the day. And you can see, like, the black line is just showing, power goes way up. As the power goes up, we start to drain our batteries. We need to conserve. So when we finish what we're doing at the end of the day, we generally time it such that we're right near a UHF window, basically when one of those orbiters come over. So those orbiters come over, we dump out everything that we've done during the day, and then this where the line goes back down is basically for the rest of the Martian night, which of course could be our night, could be our day. We have the people on the ground looking at the data came back. Are they interested in this rock? We're spending a lot of time on this one rock the last few days. Are they interested in this one rock? Do we want to move on? What do we want to do? So all through the night while the rover is sleeping, then the people on the ground are figuring out what we want to do the next day. Often there's another pass in the middle of the night. Now the rover has been sleeping. A lot of its timing has to do with when do I expect somebody to talk to me. So we actually have windows in the middle of the night sometimes where we wake it up and let it tell us, yeah, I'm still fine, let me go back to bed, I'm still okay. And then that goes down, and then whatever we come up with for that night in that tactical sequence, then the next day again starts all over talking to the DSN. So like I said, that's kind of a day in the life, and like I said, it's very tightly knit into when we can expect to talk to her to tell her what to do, and then conversely, you know, when we expect her to talk back to us to tell us how everything went. It'd be nice if we could watch what she was doing in real time, but right now that's just not possible. Someday when we have that Mars communications network up there, so we do have more coverage during the day, then that will become more of a reality. So anyway, that's my overview of MSL. I tried very hard not to use pictures that you've already seen 200,000 times. I'm guessing this is not one. Right? Yeah? Not? Okay. Good. Thank you.